Hey warriors, what's going on? It's LeeAnna here. Thanks for coming back to my channel. I am doing a video today on living with chronic illness and the secondary health conditions that people get. Now, I have two mental disorders, and let's see, one, two, three, four, five main disorders. The weird thing is some of the main issues that I have, main illnesses that I have are also can be secondary health conditions. So my main issues that I have, I'm just going to dive in and make this video short and sweet for you. I have fibromyalgia. I have sleep apnea. I have chronic pain, which is just chronic pain by itself from lower back problems. And that got compounded when I got the fibromyalgia. So it's not very fun. I'm also going through menopause. I have depression that I've had since I was a teenager, on and off my whole life. I suffer from generalized and social anxiety. I also have cardiomyopathy. I have been in heart failure and I have since come back out of heart failure, but I have to stay on heart meds or else I could go back into it. It was pretty dangerous too, apparently. If I wouldn't have responded to the pacemaker that they had to put in, which is, the scar is right there, I would have died. So, pretty scary stuff. So, with all of those main conditions that I have going on, here's some secondary stuff. Some I've had since the beginning, and some I have just started getting recently. So one of the first things that you get, or it can get all by itself as well, is digestive issues. What's the word for it? I can't think of the main. Oh, irritable bowel. I know it sounds terrible, but that's the name of it. And apparently, there's different kinds. Like I have a kind now, because I never really had a problem with that. I've had heartburn. I had chronic heartburn for 20 years, but I never had a problem with tummy aches, depending on what I ate, until after I went through heart failure, which apparently somebody going through heart failure can cause a change in their body, change in their diet, and also that I hit middle age. So, and also, let's see, so there was just all kinds of things. Sleep apnea can be a side effect, not a side effect, a secondary condition to people that have fibromyalgia or chronic fatigue syndrome, things like that. I've got it at the same time. Well, actually, no, I don't know. I got it, I'm not sure when I got it, when it first started showing symptoms, because I was always a night owl. And I was always a night owl and had problems going to sleep, insomnia, and all kinds of stuff going to sleep at night. So I could have had sleep apnea for a long time and I didn't know it. It just wasn't diagnosed until after my mom was diagnosed with it about 20 years ago. And I didn't get diagnosed till about 10 years ago, because I just wouldn't go in because I figured I had it anyway, and I slept so crappy my whole life anyway. So I just didn't want to get the official. Low or high blood pressure. Your blood pressure will, if your body's going through crap, your blood pressure and your heart rate and all of the inner workings of your body can be affected. I have low blood pressure and low thyroid function because of damage to my thyroid. I had to have that chemically destroyed, and so I have to take a pill every day. Chemically put out of business. I had to have my thyroid permanently out of business. And so I take a pill every day, but then also the blood pressure, because I'm on heart meds, my blood pressure has gone down. And so, that different things like that can happen. Weight gain. Going through cardiomyopathy, big deal, big weight gain, because your heart just isn't pumping, your muscles aren't exercising because you're tired all the time and you can't exercise. And I gained 50 pounds. I've lost 30 back. So, no, not 30. I gained, wait a minute. Yeah, I gained 50 pounds. and I have lost, I'm sorry, 40. I've lost 40 pounds back. Yeah. So I have 10 more to go to get back to my pre-heart failure weight, which at that point I was still 30 to 40 pounds overweight. But, you know, I was at least able to manage it, walk around and stuff. Because in the middle of all of this with a heart failure and everything, I had 2 knee replacements, one extra surgery on torn quads, one in each leg. And then I had the pacemaker. So I've had surgeries, but in the middle of all that, I had both knees replaced and the quads torn, and then they were repaired. So it's four knee surgeries. Fatigue. If you don't have chronic fatigue and that's your main illness, then fatigue is going to be a secondary condition that you deal with when you have chronic illness. It's just going to be there and you can't escape it. It's because your body is working so hard. This is my theory. When the body has something chronically wrong with it, it's working so hard to help that, because the body's natural way is to do things, you know, that a very healthy person would be able to do. And so when you start having problems, the body does two things. It will shift the energy to the problem to help heal it naturally, instinctively, and or it will also give you pain and give you weird symptoms so that you're recognizing the fact that you have something going on. You know, it just dawned on me, there's 2 cameras here. Yeah, that's the one I'm looking at right there. Yep. Okay, good. I wanted to make sure I was looking at the right camera for you all. Let's see. Dizziness is also a common, it can be a second, okay, blah. It can be a chronic illness. I've had dizziness. How do I want to say this? I've been susceptible to dizziness my whole life. I've had unexplained vertigo. That's exactly what it is. Unexplained vertigo, weird dizziness feeling. It's different than lightheadedness. Now, lightheadedness with dizziness can come with a side effect of medication, as well as drowsiness and fatigue. Although make no mistake, drowsiness and fatigue are 2 different things. Drowsiness is just where you're so sleepy, and fatigue, you can or cannot be you are or you are not or both sleepy. That still didn't make sense. You might be sleepy when you have fatigue, but you might not. There we go. Fatigue is where you just can't move your body. You have no energy, and it's hard to wash your hair. That's fatigue. That's chronic fatigue. You know, I'm holding up this camera here, my arm, holding up my cell phone, and I had to put this under my arm so that I had to put my other hand under my arm so that I could hold my arm up, because it's ridiculous. Oh great, now my arm's going to shake. Let me switch hands. Yeah, switching. That's always... So, let's do that again. Anyway, muscle tremors. Ha ha! We just saw muscle tremors. This because I was holding my arm up for too long. And sometimes it's unexplained. Sometimes it's with low blood sugar, because another thing that may or may not happen when you get chronic illness is, along with the weight gain, you might have no appetite. And since I had chronic illness, since I had cardiomyopathy, I've kind of lost my appetite, except for sweets. I've always had a taste that ran towards the sweet side. Was always, if somebody brought in donuts at work, or any birthday party, birthday cake, I was like, my eyes would get like this big, like, oh, I want all of it, you know. And now that's the only thing I want to eat is sweets, chocolate. So we're really having to, I lost the 40 pounds because of counting carbs. That's what my doctor finally told me. He said, you're just going to have to count your carbs and you're just going to have to stay under 20 carbs. 20 to 30 was more realistic for me based on the food that I ate and what I was hungry for, which is not a lot. I'm talking like apple, a cup of peaches or pears, let's see, protein bars, protein shakes, not a lot. And I don't like tuna, so don't even be suggesting tuna because this girl don't eat tuna, okay? All right, and then there's restless leg syndrome. Looking at notes. These my little notes there. See, in the bottom half of the page, the top half of the page was just a what's it called? Free writing. I was doing some free writing. Okay, so the restless leg syndrome, that isn't anything to sneeze at either. When you're laying in bed and your body just, it hurts, but it's not an acute pain, which, by the way, we'll talk about chronic pain here in just a moment. But when you're hurting, it's not an acute pain. It's more of like it's like a clenching pain. Like, oh, like if you get, I don't know. I don't really know how to explain it, but that's what happens, and you just have to move your legs constantly, or it's bad. So then there's depression. You can have depression as a secondary condition when you have a chronic illness, because you're depressed because you have a chronic illness. You can get depression, and it's not fun. Nobody walks around, happy, cheery, let's just have fun at life when you're chronically ill. No, it doesn't work that way. Doesn't work that way when you're not chronically ill either sometimes, I hear, but it doesn't work that way when you are. Anxiety. I have developed, my anxiety has gotten worse. I've had anxiety. We realize now, later in life, that I've had anxiety since I was a little kid. I used to lay in bed at night and imagine I could hear people coming in the door, and I'd lay there and worry about it for hours. I mean, it'd be like 2 o'clock in the morning, and here I am under the age of 10 still awake.